right, you guys, this is Raw Detroit back at you with another one on today. Make sure you hit that subscription button, subscribe to the channel. Also, guys, if we can, let's try to get this video to 100 likes. Appreciate everybody that's been watching the prospect videos as well as the Detroit Lions content as well. Today, I brought 4 game-changing wide receivers that I think that if the Lions can ultimately get a hold of one of these guys, I definitely think that it'll take the Lions offense into the next stratosphere. So definitely, man, we're going to get right into it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about it. All right, guys, as the draft is approaching and it is only 2 weeks away, the Lions have some big decisions to make. Now, currently, the Lions did have 10 picks this offseason. They was given compensatory picks, but looks like those picks have been taken back, and now the Lions are down to 8 picks. So definitely, last season, the Lions only had 7 picks, and this season they have 8 picks. So now they're just going to have to work with what they have and try to do the best that they can. If the Lions decide to trade down, they could do that as well and try to get more capital as well. Or the Lions could just stay where they're at, stay put at number 2 overall. But definitely, if they can get a hold of one of these receivers, I definitely think that it would be big business for the Detroit Lions to do so, because I think that these 4 gentlemen right here can take this offense to the next level. And I'm going to talk about them. George Pickens definitely is a receiver that I like in this draft. Talked about him in my playlists and archives. So if you did not get a chance and an opportunity to see my George Pickens video, you can always go into the archives and listen to me talk about George Pickens. I also talked about Drake London, Christian Watson as well, and Traelyn Burks. I've did videos on all of these guys, so you can always go back into the playlist and be able to hear what I had to say and my thoughts about these Pacific players or whatever. But George Pickens definitely, man, is a dude that is very, very talented. Stands at about 6'3", 200 pounds. Had a great combine. I believe he his speed was at the combine, I think it was like 4.4 or something like that, which is pretty good for a big receiver. So definitely very impressive with the speed. Love a lot about Pickens and what he brings to the table. If Pickens did not get hurt, definitely I think that he probably would be possibly the number 1 receiver taken. He can block very well. He's very athletic, can run all the routes in the route tree. And there's nothing about this kid that I don't like. Has a great work ethic. And that's what I really, really like about him. He worked hard to get himself back into tip-top shape and to be able to come to the combine and do the combine and to do all the things that he was able to do, man. I'm really, really happy for George Pickens and would love for him to be a Detroit Lion. Now, let's go to the next guy. We're going to talk about Drake London. Drake London is a guy that is very interesting because he is a very talented receiver as well. Drake London was tearing it up last year. Before he got injured, Drake London had 88 receptions and had 1,000 yards. And I think London only played about 6 or 7 games. And he was tearing it up, man. And he ended up getting hurt. And that really changed a lot of things. And now we're here with Drake London. I still think that he is one of those guys that will be taken ultimately in the first round. Whether or not the Lions get him, I do not know. Now, there has been a lot of talk and speculation because Amon-Ra St. Brown played with Drake London at USC. So a lot of people would love to see them reunite in Detroit, and I would love to see Drake London be a part of this team as well. If we can get Drake London on this team, I would love it because I think that he is an alpha dog, and I definitely think that he has what it takes to be a future number 1 wide receiver in Detroit. Detroit desperately needs some impact players, and we really haven't had that alpha dog since I guess you want to say Kenny Galladay. You know, we had Kenny Galladay, and then before him, Megatron. So definitely, man, we're in need of that big body receiver. I know we can go with a smaller receiver, but I just think ultimately Detroit kind of needs some size. They got a lot of receivers that are small on the team, so they need some guys that got some height and some girth and all that type of stuff. But definitely, man, I love Drake London, and I definitely think that him reuniting with Amon-Ra St. Brown would be a great thing for this franchise. And I think ultimately it would take this receiving core to the next level. I know that the Lions picked up DJ Chark in the offseason, and pretty much primarily it looks like he's going to be the number 1 right now. But at the same time, if we draft one of these guys and they come in and they start balling, man, hey, it is what it is, man. But then also, I want to move on from Drake London to Christian Watson, who had a phenomenal Senior Bowl as well as Combine as well. I believe he's the fastest out of all the receivers, and he might be the tallest. I'm not sure. He might be up there between him and Drake London. He's about 6'4", 6'5"-ish, Christian Watson, and the dude is a dynamic playmaker, man. Did it all for North Dakota State. Was running returns, jet sweeps, whatever he needed to do, bubble screens. He did it all, man, for North Dakota, man. And I love this kid's ability. You know, a lot of small school kids don't get the notoriety or shine as big as the big school kids, but this kid, man, definitely is a phenomenal athlete, and he pretty much held his own at the Senior Bowl and as well as in the Combine. So this dude definitely is a freak of nature. Reminds me of a young, speedy Randy Moss type of player. And when I'm talking about that, about his size, I'm not saying that he's going to be Randy Moss, but I'm just saying about his size and the same build and shape as a Randy Moss, standing at about 6'4"-ish and able to fly down the field. And one thing I like about Christian Watson is that he can create space and get separation. The Detroit Lions needs receivers that can create some space and separation, because most of our guys don't really do that well, and we really need that. We need that. So picking up a Watson would be great for this Detroit Lions franchise. So out of these three receivers so far, I would take all three of these guys. If I can get all of them, I would take all of them because we need them. But at the same time, you might only be able to get one of them. And if the Detroit Lions happen to get one of these guys, I'm cool with it. It don't matter which one of these guys they get. If they are able to get Pickens, I'm cool with Pickens. If they're able to get Drake London, I'm cool with that. If they get Christian Watson, I'm cool with that, because I know all of these guys are going to bring it. And definitely one of my favorite wide receivers in this draft is Traelyn Burks. I've been talking about this guy for a very long time, and Traelyn Burks is box office. Now, if you got an opportunity to see, definitely, if you didn't get an opportunity to see Traelyn Burks, go and watch his body of work, man. The kid is phenomenal. Has some great games against Alabama and other teams, and he is definitely an alpha dog to me all day long. Has the huge hands, great catch radius, and he didn't have the fastest speed. He ran a 4.5 at the Combine, but just because you ran a 4.5 at the Combine doesn't mean that you can't be successful in the NFL. That is not true, because Jerry Rice, who definitely holds a lot of records in the NFL, played phenomenal for years, running a 4.6. So when you get into the NFL, it's all about putting in the work and the production, more so than anything else, more so than the Combine being glorified and things of that nature, or being a Combine warrior, as some people would say. But definitely, man, Traelyn Burks is box office, man. He has that sneaky, deceptive speed, and I love everything about him, man. I would love to have him be a Detroit Lion as well, because I feel like Traelyn Burks definitely has that big dog mentality, and he would come in right away and contribute to this team and make this team better. I think if the Lions are able to draft any four of these game-changing wide receivers, that ultimately it's going to give them what they need on offense. They need guys that can go get it. They need guys that can create that space and separation. And they need guys that come in with a chip on their shoulder, ready to go and want to see the Detroit Lions win. So I don't know who's going to fall to the Lions, if they would get any of these receivers. They might end up getting someone totally that I'm not even talking about right now. Might end up with a David Bell, might end up with a Danny Gray, or a Calvin Austin, or a Jalen Tolbert. I don't know. But what I do know, that if they grab any four of these receivers right here, then I definitely think sky's is the limit for the Detroit Lions. And I think that ultimately they would be headed in the right direction, because I think that these are game-changing receivers. All right, you guys, this is Raw Detroit, and I'll be back to you soon with another video. I'm out of here. Peace.